Welcome back to Mixtape 51. I'm Jade, and on this channel, I discuss everything photography. In this one, I am discussing the work of Rodney Smith and how it inspired my photo shoot that I did in London recently. Well, actually not recently, it's been like a year ago. The year flies by. Anyways, I took inspiration from Rodney. I think he's an incredible photographer. The goal was to take inspiration, getting out there, practicing, and having an incredible experience. In this case, the experience was with my dear friend Sandra, who is not a professional model, but was kind enough to model for me. And I wanted to put together this video in case some of you watching may as well need some inspiration or maybe just to try some new things. So let's dive into it. Right, here is the first image I wanted to show you from this book that I have of Rodney Smith's. We can see that there's this, model in this very elegant dress and standing on top of this kind of rundown looking boat here. And the contrast there, there's something about it. I just love that type of image. And the fact that she's just dressed to the nines and like standing on top of this boat, you can't help, I feel like, but take a second look at this image and, kind of let your imagination go wild on what is going on here and why she's standing on top of this boat. While we're on this image, this is a technique that I want to discuss as far as what he used with his images, which was always some kind of elegant dress or attire, whether it was a male model or a female model. And that was one of the things that I was really inspired by with his photography to try and utilize with my London shoot with my friend, is some sort of elegant attire that reminds you of a previous era and decade. This is another image I took some inspiration from, where the lighting is amazing, and then also you have this top-down type of angle, and you'll see that in one of the images that I took in London. A similar type of scenario where it's top down. You've got this really nice lighting that looks like it's coming in from a window. On this Pamela with Pearls portrait, you can see again that Rodney has utilized really nice clothing. You've got some nice accents here with the necklace. You've got this great hat, and that was one of the tools that he used a lot, was hats, which I definitely took inspiration from for my shoot. And I think that's one big thing that you can take away from Rodney, as far as the fact that he was always utilizing a lot of different tools when it came to props. And you can also see here there's some really, really nice lighting going on. And I also love the fact that she's looking down. It kind of creates an intrigue to the image and a mystery to it. This image here, I think, is one of the best representations of what I like so much about Rodney Smith, in the fact that you can see a lot of his style here as far as the various props. He uses umbrellas a lot. He uses hats a lot. He uses really nice clothing that reminds you of a particular time or era. And this image, when you're reading about it in the book, it describes that he had to rent a barge, and that that he was asked if he could actually postpone this shoot because it was raining that day. And his take on it was that the rain is something that actually adds to a shoot as opposed to detracts from it. And you can definitely see some of the rain here causing a bit of reflection, which I always think is a nice addition to any image. But overall, what I don't know what it is about this image, but it just captures my attention. You can't help but take notice of it. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from what I've seen of Rodney Smith's work, are that his images take you off guard. Like, this doesn't really make sense, but for some reason you want to look at it and kind of figure it out and think about what's going on there and what the story may be. They're just such unique images and concepts. This image is called Victoria in Profile in Swimming Pool. You can see here he's again utilizing the hat. He's put on a pair of goggles backwards that, I have to tell you, I did not notice at first that was what looks to me like a pair of goggles on backwards. Instead, it looks like it would be maybe a ribbon coming around or something like that until you take, better notice of it. And he has left so much to the imagination here, creating this great line. We're only seeing the lower part of her face from her lips down, and the darks and the lights kind of bringing you into her face. I just love this image, and the fact that it's been done in water with a hat. It's just not something I would normally think of. And the way that there's just no background to it, she is, her as a subject just really, really pops. I just love this whole concept. I love how he thinks differently. And I think that's one of the things I'm trying to express in this video overall, is to show how Rodney really captured images with unique concepts. This image is called Bernadette Spinning in Red Dress, and I love this. Again, you can see here he has the model in an elegant dress, an elegant hat, and I love the motion and energy of this image. The way he has captured the energy in this image, I think, is incredible, while keeping it elegant and soft all at the same time, and the lighting having, the dynamic highlights and darks. What an incredible image to take some inspiration from. This image here, Edith and Andrew kissing on top of taxis in New York, is one of my more favorite images from Rodney. There's just something so dynamic about these two humans making out on top of a cab. Like, you can't help but stop in your tracks and look at this image. And I think that is where I really want to draw inspiration from Rodney. How he has these images that have such crazy diversity to them, and things that just make you have a huge question mark, like, what is going on there? I mean, this is just not something you're going to see. Now, maybe it is New York. You see a lot of things in New York. It's a very different place. That's one of the amazing, brilliant things about New York, is that people are different and unique, and they may do something like that. Like, you may actually just see this. But the fact that Rodney thought this up in his head and produced it and pulled it off so well, to where it just grabs your attention, to where you start taking so much time with it that you're looking in the taxi cab windows to kind of check out the driver's faces and what's going on in their head. I love this image and the whole thought process behind it. Okay, I think this is the last one I'm going to show. It's super addictive to look through this book because the images are just all so good. We're going to talk about this last one where it again falls in line with his style. You've got the hats, you've got the elegant clothing or dressed to the nines, but he's done simple things here to just make you want to ask questions. The male model leaning in here for the kiss does not make sense. It makes you ask questions. The fact that they're dressed to the nines, but the environment they're in looks kind of like your average home, and the door looks very weathered and kind of actually, in rough shape, like it could use a paint job. And from the perspective of taking in the photography rules, in my mind, I wouldn't have a cat here because I would be thinking that the focus should be on the subjects and that this cat takes away. But again, this fireplace being on, the cat looking out the window like it is, it all makes you ask questions and also makes you assume things like, well, they have a pet cat. It must be somewhere cold. They've got the fire going. Like, you start to create a story for yourself about the image. So I was able to show you a few of the images that I took with my friend Sandra that I had talked about earlier in the video, but I thought I would dive into a few more of the images specifically, since I think I pretty much covered everything on Rodney and where I found inspiration. But diving into the actual photo shoot with Sandra, you'll notice that a lot of the inspiration that I took was with trying to utilize the props and clothing. So Fortunately, Sandra had some fantastic hats to try and utilize, and as well outfits along with an umbrella. And that's what we really tried to take advantage of when we were shooting out and about in London. Now, looking back on Rodney's work and as well this photo shoot, where I wish I had taken more advantage of Rodney's style is in locations. We pretty much had this thought process, or I had this thought process of just really going through London and trying to utilize whatever location we came upon and going from there. And for the most part, for the adventure, that was amazing. But looking back on Rodney's work, you can see that the location made a huge impact on the actual images. And I wish, looking back, that maybe I had scouted more, maybe I had thought a bit more about the actual locations. But nonetheless, we had such a good time just improvising. It's a tough one. I don't know if I would actually take it back the way we did it, just because it was so fun to go around London and kind of make everything and anything a location. And that was truly one of the best parts of the adventure. That is my Rodney Smith inspired photo shoot in London. If you're feeling stuck, I hope this may have been helpful, or maybe if you just need to try something new. Rodney Smith, as you can see, just an incredible photographer and has some incredible work to take inspiration from. Quickly, I did want to thank my friend Sandra one more time for being an incredible model in London, and for all the amazing memories from us going out and shooting. It was a lot of fun. And I think I'm hoping also that that's something to take away from this video, is that just get out there with your camera and, give some ideas a go. And I think you'll be surprised at the experiences that you'll have and the memories that you'll create, if anything. That being said, if you've got some intriguing photo shoot ideas that you'd like to share below, or some inspirational photographers that you'd like to share, it'd be great to hear from you. I always love interacting with anyone that's watching the videos, and greatly appreciate any comments. But other than that, as always, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.
Let